Welcome to this week's edition of RedArmyTV. Matt Bland sitting in for Dave Roberts, who's been away for the past couple of weeks, enjoying himself. I don't know if he's been enjoying himself in Singapore, but joining me on the couch, believe it or not, we've got Dave Roberts and Luke Hughes. How are you doing, guys? Week's been good? Yeah, really yourself, good, yeah. Dave, you look...
I'm massively jet-lagged, mate.
I was going to say, you'd be absolutely knackered.
I've not been enjoying myself. I've been earning some money. You've got to do it every now and again, but yeah, the jet lag hasn't got rid of me yet.
That's what he's doing. Right, we've got lots to get through this week, but let's start off with Joel Nicholson and his Bolton review.
Outside the Macron Stadium following Borough's 3-0 victory over Bolton. Borough will no doubt face far tougher tests this season, but deserved the 3 points today. Gary Monk changed to a 4-2-3-1 formation, and the side looked more balanced than it did against Preston a couple of weeks ago. 2 goals for Britt Assombalonga, 2 assists from Adama Traore as well, who was frustrating at times but ultimately came up with the 2 crosses that won the game in the end. Grant Ledbetter, excellent in midfield, winning the ball back and distributing it well, and Marvin Johnson came off the bench, the new signing, to make it 3-0 in the closing stages. 3-0, it finished here.
Thanks for that, Joe. Right, let's start off with you, Luke, and the Bolton game. 3-0 to the Borough. Assombalonga scored 2 of those goals. Marvin Johnson with his debut goal. What was the match for you? How did you feel the game went?
I thought it was good, but they've been struggling, but you can only beat what's in front of you. And with a Traore and Assombalonga linking up, it could be good this season for us. And when Braithwaite comes back, could be a fab 3.
Dave, do you think Traore is the player we finally want to see on the pitch?
Yeah, it depends. Because then you can move on to Villa, can't you? Looking at the Bolton game, yeah, there was an end result this time, and it's great to see. He's got tremendous talent. You know, he is a Forrest Gump type runner. He'll just run and go forever. However, the difference this time was he put the cross in and Assombalonga was at the back. So I'm just wondering whether in the training ground Gary Monk's gone, how do we do this? Right, tell you what, beat your man, get to the byline, get it to the back post. Because Britt's been pulling deeper, and we saw the end result. He got a noggin on one of them and finished the other one off nicely, so it's good to see.
So do you think the team are finally starting to click now? I think Gary Monk's finally got the squad together, the perfect 12, and everyone's...
I did say 5 or 6 games, and I was worried after 5 or 6 games, but now we're getting up towards, approaching the first 10 of the season. Yeah, we're starting to understand each other a little bit better. Bolton, obviously, it clicked. Naughty Norman, I don't know where the nickname comes from, mate, but Lisa will tell me all about that, I'm sure. But you're right, you can only beat what's in front of you, and it was Bolton, and they're poor on and off the field. But we did the job, and that's what you've got to do.
What were your thoughts on that, Luke? Do you think we've finally got the perfect team to get us back in the Premier League? Yep,
I think everyone knows how each other play now and where they want it, to the feet or in the air. So I think we'll go up as champions.
What do you think about Fry and Gibson in defence? Do you think they're beginning to work as a team, or do you think they've got a long way to go before they start matching likes of Southgate and Nekiog?
I think they look good. They look good at the minute. They look strong, and there's nothing going past us. We've also Randolph behind them. That's looking good too.
What's your thoughts on that? Do you think we've got a cracking defence?
Look, this is going to come from a man who's a massive Danny Ayala fan. I love Danny Ayala. I thought he was tremendous 2 years ago. I think the manager destroyed him last year, and we're not seeing the best out of Danny Ayala so far this season in the fleeting glimpses we've had of him, purely because of the damage that was done to him by the manager last year. So, I want to see Ayala back in that team, but looking at it, you're seeing Fry now build confidence-wise. You're seeing Gibbo help him. We all know Gibbo's a great central defender, but Fry now, Dale Fry, he doesn't just get rid of the ball. He doesn't look immediately for a pass. He'll put his foot in it. He'll have a look up. He'll even run with the ball until he finds the right pass, and that's the sign of a young lad growing in confidence. So great pairing at the back.
Brilliant, thanks for that, Dave. Right, let's see how you guys thought coming back from the Bolton game when our cameras went on the bus and we got your fan rants.
Just Traore needs to learn how to run down the wing instead of holding the ball. So brilliant player, but just has to run, make it run. Absolutely fantastic. Try our man of the match for me. That's any more, just ecstatic.
Yeah, I thought we were good. We were better than the opposition in there. We weren't brilliant, but they were poor. Traore changed the game. Glad we won it.
Yeah, no, average. Weren't out of second gear. Easy enough. Just.
No, I thought we played very comfortable. I didn't. To be fair, Bolton they're nothing fancy. They didn't do much like up front, and then I thought it was very comfortable. Like you say, I don't think we were ever out of second gear. Never ever. But yeah, good performance. Very good.
Nice clean.
Thanks to those who took part in the fan rant on the coach on the way back from the Bolton game. Right, guys, let's talk about this week's match, Aston Villa. It was pretty good end-to-end stuff. Luke, let's start with you. Let's start with Traore's red card. Was it a red card?
No, I don't think it was, no.
What makes you think that? Why wasn't it a red?
I think the lad made a meal of it who he went into. I think it was kind of Hurricane. He made a meal of it.
Too much of a meal in what is diving or...
Yeah, like, he just flung himself to the floor. I don't think it was a red card. I think it was a yellow.
He had a steam train coming at him at 900 miles an hour, mate. I don't think he threw himself to the floor, but you get my drift, don't you? I do, yeah. Red card. Look, I'm a referee, or a former referee, and the guys at the highest level are told have a look at contributing factors, and contributing factors include things like speed of the challenge, how fast the player running in. You know, is he in control of his body? Does he launch himself into the channels, into the challenge? What part of the body does he hit? What part of his body does he use to hit him? All that sort of stuff. And when you look at it, high speed, wet pitch, threw himself into it, no control of his body, full body weight behind the challenge, and the knee goes into somewhere on the side of his knee. It was I don't want it to be. Cut me in half, I'll read Borough and bleed red and white like the rest of us. But it was a red card.
A couple of the viewers who are watching have sent us some social media in at Borough Red Army, hashtag RedArmyTV. David Lloyd, Liam Bright and Rob Richardson, thanks for getting in touch. They all disagree with Dave, saying it wasn't a red card. Obviously starting with Luke on that one. Let's talk about the other red card in the match, Henry Lansbury. Luke, again back to you in the second half. Was that an instant sending off also?
Yeah, that was a red card because he was through on goal and he just took his legs out because he couldn't catch him.
Yeah, so he just cleanly took him from underneath him. Dave, your opinion on that one, straight red?
My opinion is Henry Lansbury sounds like a librarian. Yeah, straight red, mate. It was violent conduct, as easy as you'll get.
Let's talk about the attempts on goal. We had Hogan accidentally block on the line. Today with you, Dave.
I did chortle somewhat, I must admit. They'd hit the crossbar as well. I was there, that's why the voice is still a bit gruff. It looked as though they were never going to score, and I started truly believing that. But it was a great shift. The lads put in a great shift. You're down to 10 men after 3 minutes. Yeah. You run yourself absolutely ragged, and unfortunately by the time Henry Lansbury Jr. the third got himself sent off, we just didn't have the legs to capitalise. I'm happy with the point.
What about yourself, Luke? Do you think it was a great game, end-to-end stuff, and looking at the attempts both sides made, do you think one of us should have come away with full 3 points?
Yeah, I reckon one of us should have come away with a full 3 points. I reckon it was a good point because we were down to 10 men from 3 minutes and we just had to battle it out with till like the 60-something minute until he got sent off, Henry Lansbury.
Dave, second half, do you think Middlesbrough should have made some more, any more changes?
No, I think we were there at half time having a chat through on the terraces at Villa Park. And highly amusing ourselves at some of the chants, by the way, which were fantastic.
Which were what?
Which were, he's got a fat head, Stevie Bruce, he's got a fat head, which I quite chortled to. And the other one after we should have been given or conceded a penalty when our crazy keeper at that moment in time, Randolph, I don't know what he did, he just threw himself into the player and bowled him over. We all started chanting that was a penalty, and the other fans applauded us for it. So,
well, we do have the best chance, I must admit. The both fans have got the great sense of humour when kind of mocking the other side, but that's great stuff.
What changes can you do? You've got to put fresh legs on, and that's exactly what he did.
That's exactly right. Right, let's talk about the Fulham game coming up on the 23rd of September. There are seats available on the Red Army travel coach down to that game. Departures 5:20 from Coach Park in Gisborough. At 20 to 6 in the High Street Red Car, 6 o'clock, 6 Medals Middlesbrough, and at 20 past 6 Anson Farm in Thornaby. Under 18s £30 and adults £35. If you want to book yourselves a seat on that coach, give us a ring. 01642 688 987 is the number to call. And let's finish off with the half-time teaser, shall we? We like to rack those brains. Let's go with who scored twice in the 5-1 away victory over QPR on the 5th of December 2009. That's who scored twice in the 5-1 away victory over QPR on the 5th of December. We'll let you know that after the break, and we've got more still to come regarding the EFL agreement with Sky, and we'll also be chatting more with Dave and Luke. Catch us after the second half. Welcome back to the second half of RedArmy.tv. Myself, Matt Bland, on the couch with me. We've got Dave Roberts and Luke Hughes. Right before the break, we asked the question, who scored twice in the 5-1 away victory against QPR on the 5th of December 2009? Dave, Luke, do you know the answer to this one? Nothing's got any brains.
Leroy Lita.
Oh, Leroy Lita. Dave's right. And how did he score that goal?
One was a pen.
Oh, check out the brains on Dave.
Yeah, well, there you go, see.
Do you know the minutes?
Nah.
No. 50th minute he scored, and the second he scored on the 60th minute.
Well, there you go.
So well done, Dave, there, for guessing it right. Okay, let's catch up what everyone was saying on the social media. He's Heidi.
Thanks for that, Matt. This is the social media following the Villa game. Lee says there's something about seeing Grant Ledbetter in the central of the park that just make me think things are going to be all right. Matt Rowney says the Borough were absolute warriors tonight. Never celebrated a point more in my life. Daniel Radic says Darren Randolph is slowly becoming my favourite Borough signing. Would not have got a point without some of his saves tonight. UTB Borough TV, as far as I can tell, Traore just got a red for speeding. Only way I can explain that. Ashley Fletcher says we showed a lot of grit and character to come away with something last night. The travelling fans were top class once again. And Mr. Gary Monk says extremely proud of these players tonight. The character and heart they showed is exactly what you want to see. Thanks to our fans. And back to you again, Matt.
Thanks for the social media there, Heidi, and for keeping my seat warm this week. Right, guys, let's talk about this new agreement with Sky and the EFL. They've paid $600 million to show more games from 2019 to 2020, and the contract is running until 2024. So the new agreement means that from the start of 2019, Sky Sports Football will show up to 183 games exclusively live each year, and for the first time, Sky Sports are available to broadcast 80 Sky Bet Championship midweek matches across interactive and digital platforms, meaning that fans can watch a majority of the midweek games from home rather than attending games. So let's start with you, Dave. A big deal for Sky, really, isn't it? $600 million for EFL rights, adding an extra 80 midweek games. Do you think this is going to maybe hamper attendance at the matches?
Well, I don't think we'll be bothered, will we? Because we could be in a Prem by then. But let's just say for one moment we don't make it up there. Will it hamper attendances? I don't know. What, 80 midweek games? 80
midweek games, yeah.
I mean, if we had a midweek game every week, you'd still only be talking 2 games every match day. So yeah, there's going to be a chunk of footy on the telly, but I don't think it's going to have too big an impact. We were chortling about the Borough fans chanting about Steve Bruce's big fat head at Aston Villa. I'd rather be there doing that than sitting watching it on telly. I've got to be honest. There'll be some fickle ones who want the dodgy feeds, the Sky feeds, all that sort of stuff. So maybe 1 or 2, but I don't think it'll have a massive impact.
Come to you, Luke. Clubs who go with the iFollow scheme are now going to be able to show matches in the UK instead of just an international audience. Is that going to affect you? Do you think you'd rather watch it from home, comfort your home on the internet, something like that, or would you rather go to the home games themselves?
I'd rather watch it freezing cold at the Riverside. Better atmosphere and It's good to watch.
I mean, you think that's a good thing, Dave, that iFollow is now going to be available in the UK?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because it's a concept. I don't think the fans know an awful lot about it. It's a concept that's weighted towards League One, League Two teams. Penalises the Championship teams. They're funding an awful lot of it, and that's why some of your bigger clubs, like the Borough, for example, haven't signed up for it because they don't see it as being a good deal for them. Derby, Hull, Leeds, you know, they're all either not or tinkering with it, but not subscribing to it fully. But now the games can be shown live in the UK to your own fans. Maybe there's a different twist to it there. Maybe you'll see more clubs embracing it.
Let's hope so. Right, let's catch up with the latest news headlines. Heidi returns with the news.
Adama Traore was named in the Championship's Team of the Week after his brilliant performance when Borough won 3-0 over Bolton on Saturday. The Borough winger was awarded a perfect 10 after his 2 assists for Britt Assombalonga, which sent Borough on the way to a first away win in over a year. Traore was also voted man of the match by the fans on the free-to-play FanScore app. He won with 56.9% ahead of Assombalonga and Grant Ledbetter. The new Borough FanScore app is available for free from the App Store or from Google Play. Fanzone returns to the Riverside Stadium on Saturday the 16th of September for the visit of Queen Park's Rangers. In association with Durham Tees Valley Airport, the Fanzone opens at 12:30 p.m. through to 15 minutes before kick-off and will reopen after the final whistle until 7 p.m. The entertainment will again be provided by TFM Radio, and special guests will include Neil Madison, Mark Proctor and plenty of other familiar faces. There will be lots of activities for all age groups, as well as food and drink, including a noodle bar, ice cream van, sweet trolley and a Heineken bar. The fan zone is free for all. Prostate Cancer UK is the official charity partner of the EFL. The Man of Men logo sits proudly in the squad numbers of every one of our players' shirts. The logo represents everyone who wants to stop prostate cancer being a killer. To donate £5 and to receive your own Prostate Cancer UK badge, text badge to 70004. And if you have any news you would like to share with us, please get in touch. Email news@redarmy.tv or via social media at Borough Red Army. And back to you, Matt.
Thanks for that, Heidi. Right, guys, coming up is the QPR match. Let's have a quick chat regarding that. Do you think we should keep the squad, Luke, for the last 2 previous matches? Other than we're not going to have Traore, of course, but do you think Gary Monk should keep the team as they are? Yeah,
you should keep the same formation, the same team. I'd play Marvin Johnson in Adama Traore's position.
Okay, Dave, what about yourself? Do you agree with that, or do you think some more changes could come?
I'd like to see Paddy Bamford in there. He came back to training 2 weeks early before any of the other boys, just to get extra fitness. He does look lean and mean, and you know, he's just watching him at Villa Park in the warm-ups. You know, his touch is tremendous. And he might run as strange as Henry Lansbury III Jr., as the name sounds. But I'd like to see him have a go. But there are plenty of options. You know, we've got Fletcher, we've got marvellous Marvin Agler, as has been mentioned. So plenty of options, but I'd still like to see Paddy given a shout.
Luke, do you think it's going to be a tough game? Obviously, with us and QPR 9th and 10th position in the league. Do you think it's going to be a tough game like the Villa game was?
No, I think we'll win 3-0. With Assombalonga bagging another brace and Bamford will come on and score.
I told you.
Very confident with that one. You're very confident. I mean, Middlesbrough, Dave, have been quite unpredictable of recent. Do you agree with Luke? Do you think it's going to be a straight win like that, or do you think we're going to have a bit of a fight?
I am going for a straight win. I think you're saying it could be unpredictable. We've got to be predictable. If we're going to get back to the Premier League, we've got to win games, and we've got to be beating teams like QPR, who are sitting near enough around us at the moment in the league table, whether it's home or away. But we're at home. We've got that advantage. We're a better team than QPR. We've got a better squad than QPR, and we're starting to gel and starting to click. I'm happy with the 2-0 scoreline, mate.
Do you agree with that, Luke? Yep. Do you think that's way forwards to think?
Yep.
Brilliant. Come back to you, Dave. I mean, looking at the QPR's line-up and obviously the team ahead, do you think Monk should play Bamford a lot more up front? Do you think we've got the click now up front with the squad? Well,
he's going with Assombalonga and Baker. That seems to be his front two, with Assombalonga as your front man, Baker just slightly behind. So would Paddy Bamford fit into that scenario? Well, you've not got Traore bombing up and down for a couple of games now, so you could just shuffle the pack shuffle the current positions a little bit to give that little bit of room for Bamford to come in. So I could see him playing him. I could see him playing him there.
Do you agree with that, Luke? Do you think we can? Bamford's got a permanent place in the squad instead of being on the bench?
Yeah, I think Bamford could do that role where Baker plays behind Samblonga. I think he could do that well.
So do you think you're perfect two up front then, if you've given the fantasy league to play, or you got the option to?
Rather Bamford and Samblonga or Braithwaite and Samblonga when he comes back.
Right. So even looking at Traore, I mean he's pulling his weight now. Do you think Traore's finally found someone up front to keep passing the ball to, because last season he was struggling with that?
Yeah, I think so, yeah, because you've got someone to match his pace now this season. Someone that can get up there in the box with him.
Brilliant. Okay, guys, thank you very much for that. Let's just give you a quick reminder of the away match at Fulham. Tickets are still available for the coach trip down there. Under 18s, £30, adults £35, and it's kick-off at 3 o'clock. Departure times, 5:20 coach back in Gisborough, 5:40 High Street Redcar, 6 o'clock the Six Meadows in Middlesbrough, and 6:20 Anson Farm in Thornaby. To get yourself on board that coach, give us a ring. 01642 688 987 is the number to call. Right, that's it for this week's version of Red Army. We'll be back same time, same bat channel. Thanks for joining us.